Well, I suppose the injury update first. Is there any hope of Mickey or Matty being available for tomorrow, Wayne?
They're gonna be assessed today, so I won't really know until after training. Fingers crossed. That's all I know at the moment.
Yeah, late tests on them.
Yeah. I know it sounds vague, but yeah, we're just trying to give them as long as we possibly could. But I think it's high hopes, hopefully.
Of both of them.
Yeah.
Which would be, I'm not saying you missed them that much last week, but they are two of your big players, aren't they? Experienced players.
Yeah, that's it. They're two of us, two senior pros, and they add a different dimension to us, So it's important that we do get them back as quick as we can, but we've also got to make sure that we don't risk them, and put them in that risk category where it could come back and then obviously make it worse, and we don't want that to obviously happen. But we're assessing them today, and then we'll know a little bit more later on. That's all I can probably say on that.
With the schedule, the away games in particular, was this week a bit of a godsend for you?
Yes and no. It gave me an opportunity to go and watch Tranmere, which I would never really get. We've had to stick with a defeat, in this week as well within the group, which isn't always nice. You always want to try and, you think if you lose, you don't want to, sort of fester on it for too long. So that was something that was kind of been quite mindful this week. We've had to have different training times all week, which hasn't helped. We've had different venues, hasn't helped. It's just been, I suppose, we all players just want to play games. If you ask them, they probably wanted the game on. But like I said, the only bit was that I got the chance to go and see Tranmere live, which is a little bit different. But I don't know. It will only tell. We've had a little bit more to prepare, longer than they. Obviously, they've had the game in midweek, so you could say that they're in a worse position than us. But we've got the travelling, and we've had the travelling of late added to it as well. They've not had the schedule that we've had.
With the travelling, I suppose. We've all seen the pictures this week of how Rodney Parade looks ahead of Wednesday.
Yeah.
I bet you can't wait, can you?
I went in to see the Rodney Parade for the first time this morning. It's the first chance I've really had to look at it, but it's a bit of a building site at the moment. It's a bit of a building site at the moment, but they look like they've got a lot of people working there. So it's looking. The pitch is looking good, and it's just everything else around it at the moment. But it's certainly going to be different for them, and it'd be just nice to get back to, especially with the fans in as well. Would be it's going to be even better.
How much do you have to say to your players? A few of them have been through this, the game before, a really big cup game. How much do you have to concentrate and say, look, get Southampton out of your heads, or hasn't it even come up yet? Because they must be looking forward to a Premier League side. It's
not even been mentioned, and that's what the group are like. We don't mention it. It's just the next game. We've played half the Premier League now anyway, so they got used to it. They just carry on as normal. They just listen. Tranmere is a massively important game for us, so we're only got one, but we know it's a big week as well. So but we can only, all the cliches, you can only deal with one, the next game and all that. But we know we've got a tough game Saturday, and we want to put that defeat behind us and get a positive display, really, and hopefully a positive result.
And Alex Fisher sort of signed and then was thrown straight in. I know he'd had featured in the pre-season or whatever. But
Yeah.
that doesn't happen too often, does it?
What? Just sticking the player in? You mean?
Yeah.
Don't know. That's what they're paid to do, isn't it? Just that's what they're paid to do. If they're fit, which we knew he was. He's had predominantly a pre-season with us, so we knew he could, give us something a little bit different up top than Timmy on Saturday. And then, it was probably just timings for him to get the deal over the line, and things like that. That was the obviously the issues with it. But Alex hopefully he's got proven goal scorer in this league, and hopefully he can add something to our group, sooner than later.
Yeah, because goals, if you look at the squad and maybe you're a bit short on goals, would you say? And hopefully you can put that right.
The hardest thing to do in football, isn't it? I don't know. We obviously Kev come on, scored at Oldham. We created, half chances as such, but I felt we created a lot better second half, obviously against Mansfield. I thought we were a real threat on the break at Ipswich, which, when we reflected on that game, it was some real positive stuff going forward. And we, that was with Jordan, Timmy out wide, so we had different options, but same sort of, principles of what we looked at, within the, how we look to play, etc. So I'm confident when make chances. It's about getting that little bit more of the rub of the green, that falls your way maybe in the box, and I didn't feel we had that on Saturday at Mansfield. Even watching it back, it was a lot of, we even in midfield we made a lot of good interceptions, and then all of a sudden it would just turn back over to them quite quickly, and it was just more about the rub of the green that day, I think. But again, we've had some positives from it. The goals weren't great, so we've looked to them, but first and foremost, I want us to be solid, and that's, we normally do have that kind of a mentality here that we are, and we're tough to beat. So add that to I'll say the flair players in the Timmies and Jermaine Hilton, etc. They're the Finn. Add that to it. All of a sudden it's we want to try and create goals from most opportunities, really.
Last couple from me. How many of your players, it seems to be the common thing at the moment to ask, so I will do. Do you know how many of your players have been double jabbed? And have you said to them as a club, look, you should get done?
No idea. I generally, I've been double jabbed, but I'm nearly 50. So a bit different for me, innit? I've got no idea. That's a medical department issue. So obviously, the gaffer's been double jabbed as well. So
yeah.
I don't know, Rob. Sorry.
No, okay, fine. I'll do it then.
I don't know. You might need to do a survey. Yeah, come in and do a survey on us.
Well, no, I mean, as I say, we Arsenal have had a few go down with COVID, and it can happen at clubs. And it, as I say, people are asking, well, have players? I mean, you can't force them anyway, can you?
No, I think generally along the public, some people do, some people don't want to do them. So that's down to them, isn't it? It's not. There's no one. I mean, it's different in the Premier League. Are they trying to enforce it or something like that? I don't really know. But we'll be tested next week prior to the game against Southampton. So that's a requirement from the Premier League. So if we'll find out then. But like I said, you can be double jabbed and still get it. So that seems.
Will that be the first time you've been tested this season?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Because you have to, because it's Premier League, as you say.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems as if like they're the big boys. They're the ones who they want the games to go ahead. They don't want no games been around, I suppose. But yeah, they're far more important than us.
We'll still be all over them like a rash, though.
Yeah, they don't like coming to Newport, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I thought if Flinny's been double jabbed, then Kev must have been double jabbed as well.
Kev Ellison?
Yeah, he's even older.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. Yeah, he had COVID a while ago as well, so... See,
Did he?
Yeah, it's not...
Nothing can kill him.
Nothing, that's what I'm saying, he's even beat that off, yeah.
Jesus. There we go. It's a big week though, as you said, isn't it? You've got Salford at the end of it. You've got Southampton in the middle. Is Southampton a free hit?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. I'm just pleased that we've got another big game coming up with for the fans probably more than anything. It's because they've not been in the stadium for a very long time. The last time that they were there was obviously the Forest Green game, and there was one stood every 10 metres.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was 800 or whatever was let in. Very, very strange sort of atmosphere, but was still quite strange. But it's going to be a proper Newport game. That's what we like. And I've got used to over the years. I've been here a long time, and we've had some great nights, and hopefully we just want to do well. And we've always said that it's a free hit against the big clubs like that. They've got strength in depth, in abundance. They got top players. Don't matter whether they're in their team or not. They're brought in for a reason, because they're good enough to play in the Premier League. So
yeah, well, if you look at their two friendlies against Cardiff and Newport, they absolutely murdered them.
Yeah, they murdered them. Yeah. So
most of them took them to the cleaners.
Yeah, I'm going to sit down and watch that one on Monday. I think I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a Welsh hat trick, you see, but I don't see it being quite so easy.
No, we're making it difficult for them, and like we do at Rodney Parade, that atmosphere is going to be great, and it just adds a little bit more of a dimension to it. But we've got some weapons up our sleeves that they're not quite used to in the Premier League. And it's it'd be good to get just if we can just hang in there. Obviously the result is going to be most important, but we want to come out of it okay, because we know we've got a tough fixture after it as well, and obviously the one before it. So it's not an ideal prep game, but look, we've earned the right to play against them. So it's we're going to
important to go into it on a high, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, but
that makes this game even more important, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, they're all important for us at the moment. We want to try and, especially the way our fixtures are gone, we need to just keep picking up points, and if it's a draw, that's a good point away from home.
Yeah,
so have to win away from home in our league. I think there was the first game, the first batch of games within the season. You'll start seeing it again now, where that flip of the away teams doing well last year when there was no fans. That will flip back again now because of the fans being back in and the influence it has on referees, etc., and little decisions that go against you. That's what happens, and we're going to be involved in all that now, and especially for the first 5-6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, your fans have been pretty rowdy on the road already, haven't they? Did they take the drum with them as well?
I don't know.
No, it's bloody noisy at Rodney Parade. That's all I know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's good. Looking forward.
We'll have it bagging on Tuesday. Great. Thanks, Philip.
All right.
Wayne, with the sort of Flean likes to keep injuries, sort of keep the opposition guessing, is it? How important is that with the sort of the unpredictability you can have with your lineup?
What, as in?
So they don't really know what's coming. Sorry.
With the only way things change every day. It's incredible. You especially here at Newport, there's so many factors that can. I'm not saying can go wrong, but add COVID to it, someone not feeling very well one day, or it changes, and you've got to adapt, and that's it. And we're very much, we want to keep things in house, as in, because that's the right thing to do to protect everything that we do. That's just I think it's just the way it is. It's not, some managers will choose to say, can be completely honest and focus on what we do, and and tell you everything. I can't speak for everybody else, but how we do things here is we want to protect the players as much as we can, but we know that things can go wrong in it, and we'll always try and pick the strongest team to win a game.
I just sort of getting out, because you can play 3 at the back, you can play 4 at the back. You play both, and that sort of knowing that the opposition are waiting until just before 2 p.m. until they know what's coming is valuable, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, you like I do sort of like a passing pattern before we in the warm up. So you could have a pretty much idea of what we might be playing there. So it would, whether it's right on 3 o'clock or the way we've gone, I say evolved over the last few years. We've changed systems within when we play. So we've added that a lot on more this year. We've been able to be a lot more flexible in what we do. So that if teams, because I'm judging that Mickey will go 5-4-1 tomorrow, but they're at home. So he now may look to change it again, because that's what he's been in the last couple of games. But it's not 5-4-1 as in just like he gets everyone behind the ball and then just leave one. They don't play like that. They're they got like a 3 up front, really, if you want to call it like that, with like in a box 4 in midfield. But it's in certain scenarios of the game. So it's all coaches are starting to find different ways of adapting within what they've got, and creating as many problems. And if for us, we're trying to, we focus on a lot of what we do, and what we do, we have solutions around that. So if a team change, there would be a solution around that as well. So the players will be briefed on the most likely outcomes before the game.